Scorpio, welcome to your Wheel of the Year 2020 Guide to Planetary Retrogrades. I'm going to be going over the 8 turns of the pagan calendar, starting with Yule, going all the way around to Samhain or Halloween or the Witch's New Year's or however you like to celebrate. I'm going to be going through all the retrograding planets this year, when they're going to be happening, how they're going to be affecting you, and some tips and tricks and advice on how to navigate them so that they don't roll you so hard when these energies wash over you. Maybe you'll actually be able to catch some and ride them into the shore. It's all dramatic as you make it. It's all going to be as dramatic as you make it. If you don't like a timeline, you have power to change it. I've been forgetting to say that at the beginning of the readings. If you don't like the way a reading looks, that is up to you not to follow the cycles and repeat those timelines. You can change things if you want to, if you just put in the work. So coming out of last year, I see a lot of overwhelmed, a lot of denial, and leaning a lot on a support system and not relying enough on yourself and your own intuition. That was the end of your Wheel of the Year reading for 2019. This is the energy that you're heading from now into the Yule season. For your midsummer, it says that it was a lot of isolation, a lot of filling voids going on, some sort of toxic connection, and trying to break a toxic cycle so that you don't repeat it again with another person. So, your Wheel of the Years for 2019 were rough, so we shall see how 2020 will go. It will be how much work you want to put into it. So here we go. Starting on Yule, December 21st, we have a sharp pain to the heart and a disappointment in relationships, perhaps some third-party situations, or you feel like somebody else is too involved in your relationship, or your partner is too interested in another aspect and he's not paying you enough attention. Some sort of third-party thing that's going on here for you. This could be you too. You could be paying more attention to other people than paying attention to your partner. This could go for work too. Not helping the person you're supposed to be helping enough and doing too much to show off on your own and not taking in other people's consideration. So this can go either way, whether you're here for love or whether you're just here for a general. I do see this being a situation that you are struggling to walk away from. No matter how much the universe tells you should walk away from certain things that are distracting you, you're really struggling with that. That is the shadow aspect that is playing into this heartache right here. Now going from Yule to Imbolc, we have Uranus going direct in Taurus. So this is a lot of changes that have been happening globally. This is an energy that affects everybody. Everybody is kind of accepting the way things are now. They're trying to accept people for who they are now and not so much basing everything on the past. They're allowing the new to come in, and they're slowly but surely getting used to that now, with Uranus going direct on January 20th. By Imbolc, February 2nd, I see a new home or an accomplishment, a goal that you have been working on coming to fruition, setting up a solid foundation somewhere. But I still see that for the home-based foundation being so strong and being something you've really worked for, that there's still a struggle in a partnership and like a lack of passion towards the partnership that you're building this foundation with. So just be mindful if that's what's on your mind. Be very careful how you set your foundations up. If you're setting your foundations up in a relationship that you're struggling to keep passion in, you really need to ask yourself, what is blocking your passion? And is it a legitimate reason to be blocking your passion? And are you wearing a mask? Or are they wearing a mask? With the mask right there and the butterfly. So going in from Imbolc to Ostara, we have our first Mercury retrograde. It's going from Pisces to Aquarius and back again. It's going to be retrograding from February 17th to March 10th. And this is going to be a time to reorganize priorities around emotions you are struggling to communicate. So if you've been bottling up a lot, that's what this Mercury retrograde is going to bubble up and start to try to pull out of you. And you're going to start seeing areas where you haven't been prioritizing yourself to put somebody else's priorities over you, or vice versa. You've been expecting somebody else to put you as a priority over things that they should be prioritizing. And that could be causing a bit of a drama in your closed circles. So going into March 20th, so this is just as the shadow phase is ending for that Mercury retrograde, I see a growing awareness in your own power and yearning to grow even more. So this is really about seizing your power and seizing and feeling your own power growing. Now, as your own power is growing, you have the Joker reversed, and he's got the swords on his head. Now, the Joker reversed, this card is all about knocking others down to make yourself feel better, or someone trying to knock you down so that you don't feel your own power. This could go either way depending on how your relationships are going. You can't gain this. This is not a frequency you can obtain if you're gaining it by knocking others down, by talking smack and knocking others down a notch and judging other people. You're not going to be able to seize your own power that way. And if this is another person, that as you are embracing yourself and growing your own power and doing it in a genuine way, if this is a person that's trying to keep knocking you down notches so that you don't get more powerful than they are, or they're intimidated by your growing power, be mindful of that's what's happening and really evaluate that relationship. And if you want somebody who's trying to keep you from reaching your highest potential, never trust anybody who doesn't want you to reach your highest potential. So going from March 20th to May 1st, excuse me, to May 1st, we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn, and this is going to be going to feel like certain things are burning to the ground. This is going to be especially around business and job related things that aren't efficient anymore, are things that the universe thinks you could do more efficiently. They're going to take away something to force you to figure out a new way of doing it that is more efficient and is more beneficial to you. So the universe, that's what Pluto is going to be. It's going to be a subtle energy that's doing this. So by Beltane, I'm seeing you're still, with all that goes on with the Pluto retrograde, popping off little difficulties in your business and job related area, I see you feeling oppressed by the circumstances, and you have a great sense of waiting to be released from the darkness. So this is all about, it's all about feeling oppressed. Your comfort zone is not comfortable anymore because you're starting to raise your energy up with the Isis power there, and now your comfort zone is feeling oppressive. To go with this card, I do see that you're struggling to persevere, and I got a strong sense of a toxic competition. Now, this could be this other person that you're dealing with here. This could be something, a third-party situation's going on. This could be job-related. This could be love-related. But this is a toxic competition that you are in. For some reason, somebody is trying to constantly show you up, and for some reason, you respond immediately by trying to show them up. And it's nasty, nasty energy. And that's not how you're going to get out of this oppressive feeling. This is keeping you locked in these oppressive feelings. So be aware if that's what's happening and adjust it if you don't like that timeline. So going from May 1st to midsummer, June 21st. So from May 1st to June 21st, we have 4 major retrogrades going on. You got Jupiter going into retrograde in Capricorn, and that is going to be a time to re-examine the old philosophies, especially around business and making money. It's about really examining, everybody told you if you did X, Y, Z that life would turn out great, and you tried to do X, Y, Z, and X, Y, Z never works out for you because the universe is telling you X, Y, Z is not for you. We have made this whole new ABC, includes the whole alphabet. You can create your own timeline program out here now, and you don't have to go with the old philosophies just because someone told you to, and you're going to see this flaring up. Saturn retrograde is going from Aqua to Capricorn on May 11th. I see this only being a problem if you've been skating around trying not to do the work yourself. You're not doing the inner work that everybody else is doing. You're avoiding it, or you're avoiding doing actual work and actually helping out at this point. If that's what you're doing, that's what's going to blow up in your face during this Saturn retrograde. But if you're really pulling your own and you're really genuinely doing the inner work, I don't see Saturn bothering people too much. It's subtle. Venus goes retrograde in Pisces on May 13th to June 5th. So this is going to happen, boom, before we even flip these. It's going to be over. And this is going to be the temptations are high and willpower is weak. This is going into summer. This is going out more. This is wearing nicer clothes. This is showing off. This is summertime. This is, you know, a lot of emotions are going to be brought up with this Pisces, and it's going to be, temptations are going to be very high. You're going to get offers that are very, very tempting, and your willpower will be weak. So if you are mindful that when these tempting things pop up, that you know you have a chance, and you know a lot of people are going to be falling into this weakness, you can do the opposite and not fall into the weakness and actually hold your ground. The final retrograde in between these two is Mercury on June 8th. And this is going to be, don't get distracted by these temptations and past loves. Past loves will be the most tempting thing that you're going to have to face, and you're going to have to make some real decisions about that stuff. And you will get distracted by them. Don't let them distract you from taking care of you. That's how you tower your own life. Do not let somebody distract you from taking care of yourself. All right, so for midsummer, by June 21st, after all these retrogrades have hit you, I see you defending yourself wisely. You're done playing the blame game at this point. This is, don't waste your energy playing the blame game. You've sat here, you've defended this person, you've helped them, you've battled next to them this whole time, and now it's just like, this has just felt like a toxic competition the whole time. I don't even feel like I've been fighting next to you. I feel like I've been fighting for you or fighting you the whole time. So here's a couple swords just to defend yourself, but I'm taking the rest of my swords and I'm done playing that game. This was also going to leave you, when you're done and you walk off carrying these swords, this is going to leave you feeling really unstable and unclear about what is going to happen in the future and what is coming next. So I'm feeling this is going to throw down a major decision for you, or decision for another person. And to do this, it's going to leave you in this sense of not knowing what's coming next. But you know, that's when the universe brings in something, usually. As long as you believe. And as long as you're honest with yourself. As long as you're not taking more than your fair share and you're just taking your fair share and being like, I'm done, and walking off, you're going to be fine. Now, going from midsummer to Lunasa, we got Neptune going retrograde in Pisces on June 23rd. And this is going to be the shattering of illusions. This is this uncertainty. You're going to get this big shatter of illusions. You're going to throw up your ultimatums. You're going to say, this is it. This is how I prioritize myself now. And you're going to see some people's true color. and it's going to shatter some illusions for you. And it's going to bring up a bunch of phobias and fears that you're going to realize have been controlling all of your decisions, and they're why you're actually miserable, because you've been living your life avoiding a fear. And all you keep doing is just manifesting that fear over and over and over again, because that's all you're ever worried about. So the universe is like, well, if that's what you think life should be, I'm just going to keep reaffirming it for you. So when these illusions get shattered, be mindful of that and see people for who they are. And when they tell you who they are, believe them. I see by August 1st, by Lunasa, I see following the old program out of tradition, doing things just for the sake of stability. And that's fine in most senses. When you're dealing with other people, it's usually a compromise that you make. But at the same time, doing something just for stability is still the same vibration as doing something to avoid a fear. And now, with this energy of the tradition and following the traditional path and doing what you feel like everybody would want you to do, and that's all the advice you're getting is this traditional path, take the traditional path, take the traditional path, you're going to actually feel like you're not really gaining any progress, and you're losing self-confidence because of it. Because this is feeling more like a desperation move, and that's not something that's going to grow your confidence. So that's going to shake up whether or not you're going to really reevaluate whether you want to take that traditional path or not. Now, going from Lunasa to Maboon on February 22nd, you have Mars going retrograde in Aries. And this is going to be a very rushed, heavy, combative energy. It's going to get you a laser focus on something that you want, probably something you've always wanted. And you're going to want to run at it so fast that you're going to trip over your own feet and you're going to bust your face on the ground. So when you get that, when you finally really do see what it is you're really chasing, not what you're avoiding, not what you're compromising over, but what you've actually been looking for, don't rush at it head on. Be mindful of each step you take and make sure your feet are firmly planted on the ground before you take each step. So Maboon, September 22nd, I see a renewal of passionate love, perhaps a passionate love that's being offered to you. This is a balance of the masculine and the feminine energy here. So this is a renewal or an offer of love, the kind of love that makes you love yourself. That's the energy that the Venus love card comes with. But now, I see that the way you can ruin this is going to give you a boost of confidence, and this is going to get people to notice you. And as soon as people start noticing you, that you're vibrating on that love frequency, this can quickly turn into a front, where suddenly you're not really feeling yourself, and the decisions that you're making are just an attempt to try to get that love energy back. Because you're being offered love, you're just taking it without evaluating what it is or where it's coming from or anything else like that. And this attraction frequency can quickly turn toxic if you're not mindful of actually loving yourself enough to be picky in your decisions, to prioritize yourself and only give yourself what you feel you're actually worthy of, not just taking everything offered just so and then holding up a big front even though you feel terrible about a lot of things that you're doing. All right, so that's the counteractive here with the Venus and then the Queen of Wands reversed. So going in from Maboon to Samhain, in the beginning of November, end of October, we have Mercury going retrograde for the third time. And you're going to love this. It's going to retrograde out of your sign into Libra and then back into your sign. So this is going to go from your hard exterior, all my ooey gooey bits are protected with a stinger, to the Libra wanting to vocalize and wanting to actually speak about emotions, back into that hard, gooey center hidden stinger mode. So now if you're just sitting there waiting to sting somebody if they say the wrong thing, that is a defensive energy, and when you put out a defensive frequency, the universe will give you stuff to defend yourself against. And this can quickly turn into a victimhood mentality, where you're constantly running around stinging everybody for saying anything negative about you, that you're not realizing that what they're trying to tell you is advice to help you. It is the universe screaming in your face to recognize something within yourself that's causing you to constantly have to be in fear, ready to sting people mode. So that's, and then after that, we have Pluto going direct in Capricorn. So what that's going to be is all the little business things and all the little job-related things that were popping off and giving you all this trouble here, that's going to smooth out, and you're going to be rising, a phoenix rising from the ashes with that one. It's going to bring a whole new renewed energy to that aspect of your life. And then we have the Witch's New Year's here, November 1st or October 31st. And this is, all right, so you got your phoenix rising from the ashes, but what happens first is the burning to the ground. And now this is going to be the type of poverty that forces you to reevaluate your life cycles. This is going to be a wake-up call. If you let everything burn to the ground over here and you doubted yourself and you didn't build up what you were building here and you just let it completely burn to the ground, this is where you're going to be left feeling impoverished now that you didn't try to salvage anything. You didn't try to salvage anything. You let it all go. You didn't bring anything with you to the end of the year. So now when you have a tower moment here, with this Mercury retrograde in your sign, and you're going to find yourself in a poverty that's going to force you to reevaluate how you keep landing in the same situation over and over and over again. This is a cycle. I feel strongly that this is a cycle that you keep finding yourself in. So if you keep finding yourself feeling impoverished and feeling betrayed and left and spiritually unconnected, you really need to reevaluate all your life cycles and really go inside and do that nasty, dirty work of pulling out all that crap and baggage that you try to hide from people. And you don't have to go and spill your guts to everybody, but you do need to take a good, long, hard look in the mirror and see how you keep creating this for yourself. And once you do that, because you'll see the person in front, she's all bundled up and not looking. But the person right behind you, because there's people who have your back, genuinely. They're looking up at the pentacles in the sky. She's smiling. She's what a beautiful winter day. Look at all those pentacles in the sky. And you're all bundled up and fuck them pentacles. You know, it's cold. I'm cold. I'm cold. I don't want to be in the cold anymore. I want to have 10 pentacles, but I don't want to go through the steps it takes to get 10 pentacles. I just want to be handed them to me. But now, if you can get from this mode to this mode, where you're actually looking at the benefit of the fact that you're in this poverty, and the benefit that you have been shaken down to your core, because when you get shaken down to your core, there is only one thing that's still standing around you. And those are the ones that have always had your back. Until death do us part. When everything else is gone and when you've lost everything, who is it that always has your back? Have you been treating them fairly all year? Have they been a third party that's been neglected? Have they been, you know what I'm saying? This is the person that's going to have the constructive criticism that you need to hear. This is going to be a collaboration that will lead you to the new path that you need to take in order to get to where you're not hitting this cycle anymore. The toxic competitions are over. All the tit for tat, back and forth drama, all that emotional hiding, all your emotions all the time, putting on fronts, all that's done with this person. This person's going to tell you everything you need to hear. And it's going to be a collaboration for you. And they're going to help lead you to a new path. And right after that happens, Mars goes direct in Aries, November 4th. You're going to feel a gaining in your footing. You're going to feel confident. You're going to feel like it's time to really start moving your life in a genuine new direction. Now, for your final card, your oracle card that I got you with your main message to help you with getting through this year, I got the tsunami. This year is going to be a major wake-up call for Scorpio. Time to draw back the curtain of avoidance. Time to actually see who the wizard is and see how he's been putting on this big show. You're going to have plenty of foreshadowing before this tsunami hits. You're going to see this thing coming, and you can either look away from it or you can embrace it and roll with it, but if you turn your back on it, it will wash everything away. And I have a feeling that you're going to be going through a big, major shift this year. So the objective is to pay attention to the signs. Pay attention when people tell you who they are. Pay attention to the cracks in the foundation, and pay attention to what you are doing that creates these toxic cycles over and over and over again in your life that keep landing you in the same position over and over again. Because until you learn what it is you are doing that's creating these toxic cycles, they will continue to hit you like a tsunami until the universe wakes you up. All right, Scorpio? That is your 2020 guide to planetary retrogrades. I hope this helped you out. If you like it, please like, share, subscribe. I'm going to put down the link to our Facebook group where I do more card readings for free in there. And we've got free Reiki healings, and we play games and affirmations from the universe and fun articles, and we got plenty of files. So you can come check us out over there, and I'll talk to you guys later.